Hi everybody, I'm Benjamin Whitcomb. Be sure to follow all these social media, subscribe at YouTube. You don't want to miss a thing.
You had me at cello, cello. You had me at cello.
All right, so why chords on the cello? Well, we actually have them quite a bit in the repertoire. I can think of many pieces that have us either rolling chords or playing triple or quadruple stop chord passages. So we want to be able to play those pieces, so why not tackle understanding the various chord structures? Another thing is that as players of bass clef instruments, I think it's more incumbent on us to be able to think harmonically. We need to be able to understand the function and the structure of where a line is going, how a piece as a whole is constructed, the modulations, everything. The better we can do that and think in terms of where it's consonant, where it's dissonant, the more we can be the harmonic foundation for the other instruments to feel like, you know, we're a stable platform for them. Another thing is it actually is very helpful with improvisation. I know for some of you, you're not afraid of improvisation at all. That's great. For those of you who are, anything that we can do to reduce the fear factor a little bit is good. And sometimes hey, let's do a blues progression in B flat. And if your brain automatically knows what that means and where you'd go to find those pitches on the cello, then it's decidedly less scary. And then finally, there's actually a lot of technical benefits to being able to understand chords on the cello. Think about it. Our fingerboard geography knowledge goes up if we're not just finding one pitch at a time, but we find an entire group of notes that belong together. Our ability for the hand to work as a team rather than every finger for itself. Ear training. It's really good for ear training to be able to just be thinking, I'm thinking diminished chord. I have certain expectations and I hear that sound and it reinforces my musical imagination. And then it also helps to improve our sight reading, which is also a very valuable thing. When you glance at that spot and you go, oh, I recognize that chord, you just were able to get a whole bunch of notes for the cost of one aha. All right, so here's how this is going to be manageable and not at all scary, not at all daunting. We want to start really by just focusing on major and minor triads and diminished and dominant. Major and minor, they're just so common, so we're going to focus on them the most. And just in two inversions, root position and first inversion. Second inversion is just too rare to bother with. So that's a manageable set. Combine that with the fact that, of course, in the long run, we'd like to be able to do this in all 12 keys, all 15 keys. But let's just focus on the top of the circle of fifths to begin with. So 0 sharps or flats up through 3 sharps and up through 3 flats. If we can get those 7 keys really well ensconced in our brain and hand, then we're in excellent shape. Okay, so just another couple quick caveats. I just want us to understand that sometimes we're seeing chords on a page, we're reading them, and that's telling us where to go to play those chords, and we want to be able to do that well. And then other times, like if we're improvising, we're wanting to be able to imagine what chord we want and find it kind of by ear or by heart. I'm going to place more emphasis in these videos on the latter, on doing it the rote approach to chords. I think that should help us internalize this and make it more natural seeming more quickly, I'm hoping. Also, yes, we do sometimes have triple and sometimes quadruple stop chords. Let's just focus on triple to begin with. I'm just going to do 3-note chords for everything to keep it simple at first. And then finally, sometimes we're playing these chords, we're doing fancy string crossing patterns and rolling them in various ways, and other times we just have them kind of strummed guitar style. I think to keep it simple, let's just do pizzicato to begin with. All right, so proceed from here to the video on major and minor triads.